What's up, everybody? This is Aaron showing you some guitar parts from Magnify. At the very beginning, you hear there's two guitars doing the exact same part. It's that opening kind of signature riff. It goes like this. So to break that down, it starts on the D on the A string, which is about the 5th fret, then up to the 7th fret for an E. So you go, then down to a B to A, or B to D. It's all on the A string. It's a little bit of stretch, but then you go down to this hammer-on thing from A, B, A, then G to E. So it's like. And then in the verses, there's a little bit of palm muting. Halfway through this first verse, this guitar comes in on just a single note, no power chord, just on an E to a C, then a single A, and that way it's very clean and doesn't really overpower, because if you're doing, it gets a little too intense. So then the pre-chorus, both guitars switch out to big chords, kind of with a little bit of delay on, just a simple delay. I usually have something like a memory man, like maxed out delay time, repeats the feedback knob kind of right at like 11 or 12, and then the mix knob kind of at a decent place where you don't hear the repeats as much, but they add some texture. So it's kind of like this, that you hear this. It's not really, it's kind of long, but not really. And then when you hit the chord, it just adds a little bit more dimension. So it goes. So the chords there are D to an E minor, to a C, to a D over F sharp, to a G, D over F sharp, C, and it doubles that into the chorus. That chorus section has this part that one guitar does. The first chorus drops down, with the pad and all that. This other guitar part kind of adds another texture along that line. So what you want to do is go to your high B string, or your B string, high B, at the 12th fret, and just kind of do this little picking thing, like. So you'll kind of want to drench it in reverb, so that way it's like super like ambient, kind of atmospheric. And I don't change any notes, you just kind of keep that the same all the way throughout until you switch over to the and that makes for a pretty cool section. Let's see what else. The chorus, one guitar in the chorus is doing straight up, just straight chords, but I'll show you what those are. Some of them are a little tricky. It goes to a G, that's actually a F sharp major, or G. What am I saying? G major 7th. It's kind of like what the natural thing would be to do is to take your G on the high E string and move it down to an F sharp here to make it sound like this. But we kind of want to make it a little bit more dissonant and kind of give you something else to kind of change it up a little bit. So it goes from. So this chord, you're just hitting your first finger on the G, then skipping the A string, ring finger on the F sharp octave of D, I guess. So it's like, find that note right here, the 4th fret of the D string. And then the rest of them, you just kind of leave open. I don't usually hit this pinky, or this middle finger on this last string, because these two notes don't really fit together. It's kind of like that. And then to a C, go together. It's a B over, or G over B, to a D, and then same thing. Let's see. Then out of that, it goes to this kind of build-up section that happens after this chorus into the down chorus after the bridge, then at the very outro. So it goes like, while the guitar riff comes back, you go to a C, D, E minor, D over F sharp. I can't. That's hard to say. Then C, D, E minor, D over F sharp. Then you're in the bridge, and that guitar part comes back. Just drenched in reverb, just holds that over those pad chord changes. There is nothing more that my heart desires than to lift the name of He. It goes the entire time. When the drums start to come in, this other guitar part comes in. So it's kind of like if you look at a C chord, you look at that C kind of formation, you slide that all the way up to the 10th fret and the 9th fret of the A and D strings. So you kind of have this cool like. Then you move down to like kind of like a same thing with the D chord, only it's like C up a whole step. So, and then the next chord is like a minor, kind of like a. Well, I don't know. It's a 7th and 5th fret on the D string. And then you go to C. So listen through that, you get the kind of rhythm for it. When everything starts to build after the I think the second Jesus part, when everybody's just full on, I switch this part from the little picky to more of a straight like and follow this kind of pattern. So you go like 1, 2, 3, 4. There is nothing more that my heart desires than to lift the name of He who saved us. So basically, what that kind of does, it cleans it up. So you're not just trying to go. You get a little bit clearer of a sound, and it fits really well with the rhythm guitar right there. And you can also keep the reverb on that and just make it super, big. But really, the notes I'm just playing are a high B on the B string, then to an F sharp at the 7th fret of the B string, and then a G, moving one step up from that, a half step up from that, at the 8th fret. And everything out from there is pretty straightforward, I think. There's one part when we go out of that section, the last Jesus part, you go from Jesus. That big build-up part, one guitar just holds on that high D on the E string, just the 10th fret, just to give it some wash and kind of things like that while they're doing that build-up. Then it rings out on an E minor. For your light has come. One guitar comes in. We at the Lord rises upon. Chorus 3, 4. During those choruses, there's one more guitar part. I'll close with this. While the single guitar, I guess, is doing that straight kind of chords. The other guitar is doing this sort of number. It's like it starts on the D string on the 5th fret, and then you kind of have your ring finger on the 7th fret of the E string, and then your pinky on the 8th fret of the B string. So it's like. So the pattern is kind of like. So I'm starting off with this weird kind of chord. Then all I do is take my pinky off and move my ring finger down to the B string on the 7th fret, and let that E string ring out. So you kind of get. I kind of go to like a C add 9, but I don't really hit this pointer finger on there. I kind of mute that D string. Just go. Kind of pick between the A string and the B string and the G string. Then literally just slide down to the G over B. Then kind of a D without that. Just kind of letting that E string ring out the whole time, just because it's kind of a, kind of a cool texture for the chords. So I'll play that one more time. I'll play it slow and then I'll play it fast. So. And then you kind of do that all the way throughout the courses. I'll play it fast one more time. So this is kind of like more in context. You go 1, 2, 3. Over the big outro, so you're like. Big crash. That's the end.